has a little piece of debris on one of the suspension parts in the front left there. He continues to worry Robbie Gordon. Unser Jr. and then Christian Fittipaldi. Record crowd here, 100,000 expected for this race. Let's move back in the field now. Bobby Rahal runs back in 20th place with Stefan Johansson just ahead.
And I've talked with Bobby, and he said one of the things they did do, they did not take the new Goodyear this weekend. They didn't feel their car was handling good enough. It didn't work on the new tire, so they stuck with the old one, hope that maybe they'd get an advantage on the distance that they could go on that tire.
This camera, of course, mounted on the nose of Bobby Rahal's car. There's the one over his right shoulder.
Of course, Bobby's always been one of the quickest around here. He's a very good driver. He's obviously struggled all weekend long. Started way back. You can see how much his hands are moving around in there. He's bouncing over the curb. He's not having a happy day in that car.
His teammate Brian Herta is 5 positions up ahead of him, running in 16th place. You see Johansson there. Then just ahead of Johansson is Teo Fabi. He's replacing Mark Blundell. Still has a broken foot from his crash at Rio.
Along that tire front that you were talking about, of the top 10 qualifiers, half of them were Goodyears and half of them were Firestone. They felt that the Goodyear tire was a big step, but it still has a little ways to go to catch that Firestone. Of course, as a racer, we're never going to be totally happy with the tire. You're always going to be complaining to get something better.
Coming forward now to 11th place, Michael Andretti. And Jack Arute, you've been keeping track of him.
Well, Paul, as you look on board Michael Andretti, one of the major problems that Michael has had is severe understeer with the car since the drop of the green flag. Now, what his crew has told him is, stay out there. We will make an adjustment during a pit stop. But Danny Sullivan, when you've got understeer in a concrete canyon like this, you just can't use the typical Andretti pedal to the metal style.
No, and I think you can actually see him moving his hand into a different position. See how high it is on the steering wheel there, his right hand? He's not having a comfortable time. Right in the middle of that steering wheel, you'll just see that little light come on right there, just right in the middle. That's where he hits the maximum RPM, and he has to shift. That's his warning, so he doesn't have to look down at the tack. This is a great shot there. Now, if we hold on here for a second, you'll be able to see him in this hairpin. See how he probably had to move that hand up? I don't know who that was. Very nice of him to get out of the way. And you can see the light right there, right? Boom, the light comes on, that little red light. That means you're supposed to shift.
And then there's another LCD display right in the center of the wheel.
Well, that's true, but they don't put that much up, and the one in the middle, they can type in messages. But what it actually tells them, that little, looks like a sliver across there, that's where his fuel used is in there. He's got more gadgets on that steering wheel than most people have on the dash.
At the front of the field, Gil de Ferran still with a record pace, 105.5 miles an hour. The record is 99.2. 31 laps are complete, 105 the scheduled distance. And it's Gil de Ferran that is out in front of Alex Zanardi. Nothing has changed there. One of the great things about the happening here at Long Beach is that they have all the souvenirs you could ever possibly want. Yeah, Page family spent a few bucks back in that area over the weekend, and we enjoyed every minute of it. We'll be right back.
You want to know how to choose a motor oil? Take a ride to your local garage and see what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, of all the brands of motor oil, more ASE certified master technicians choose Valvoline for use in their own cars and trucks. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics.
Come play the new Valvoline racing game on the net.
Put 700 of the world's most powerful horses together, and what do you get? You get out of the way. The Budweiser Ken Schrader stock car. See you at the races.
With new spark plugs, you get improved performance for a while. But only Bosch Platinum has a pure platinum center electrode that's heat fused. So Bosch Platinum reaches its self-cleaning temperature faster for full engine power and improved fuel efficiency over a longer performance life. Which means you'll replace a lot of other things before you change your Bosch Platinums. Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug.
Whoa. Check it out. Yeah, the new Jetski 1100 ZXi watercraft. The best from 95's Watercraft of the Year. Plus more power, 1100 cc's, auto trim, radical carving, total control, and Kawasaki's air induction system hull for less drag, better acceleration, higher performance. Cool. I want it. I want it. I want it.
Back at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach as you ride with Robbie Gordon Saturday at 3-2 Central and Pacific. ABC's Professional Bowlers Tour rolls into New York for the Bud Light Championship. And then from San Juan, Puerto Rico, it's the men's and women's event finals from the World Gymnastic Championships presented by State Farm. That's all Saturday here on ABC Sports. Robbie Gordon, 7th place. Here's the key right now. This battle has heated up between 4th place Scott Pruitt and Paul Tracy. Had his spin just a little bit earlier, but now he's coming back, and we're coming down on top of the pit stops.
That's right. Well, Paul's really come back from that spin, but with all these battles going on in the field, this first set of pit stops is going to be critical. Whoever gets that little gap on the other guy, this is going to be paramount. Now, something else we've learned is they've dropped the speed limit in the pits from 80 miles an hour to 60. Now, what most people do, of course, is just readjust their computer, and they have a switch that detonates and slows the engine down when it gets to 60 miles an hour. Of course, if you turn it on. Michael Andretti in Australia forgot to hit his switch. I don't think we'll have a lot of that today.
So we keep track of the run, this time looking down on Shoreline Drive from the Blimp Eagle at that ongoing battle, Pruitt and Tracy.
You know, from a driver's point of view, too, if I got a pit stop coming up and I know I got a crew that's really good and I don't have a clean shot here, I mean, a really clean shot to get by Scott Pruitt, I might just wait and see if my pit crew can do it in the pits. Just stay right there with him, get in fast, and if my crew can get me out in front of him, I haven't had to take a chance on a dangerous pass.
You know, you talked about the pit speed and how to control it. Dennis Vitolo has already been in and out of the pits, and apparently he didn't have the button working or maybe forgot to push it, whatever. 67 miles an hour, black flag. He's in for a stop and go.
Well, that's right. And let me tell you one thing about the speed limit. They give it 60. They'll give you a cushion of 5 miles an hour. So they'll let you go to 65. You go over that, you're in big trouble.
Zanardi due in another lap or so, Jack?
That's correct, Paul. They've already cautioned him about the pit speed. We're looking for all the front runners to come in the next 2 or 3 laps. But watch for a crew member to go to the front wing. He'll make an adjustment. Now he's going to go up a turn to a turn and a quarter on the front wing, trying to solve a little bit of a handling problem.
Oh boy, based on the pace he's set as he chases the Farron, it's not much of a problem, but I guess when it keeps you from getting around the leader, the problem to that team.
Well, or it could just be a problem in traffic. If he's going up on the front wing just a little bit, means he has a little bit too much understeer. The front's not working as good as he wants. He's going to put in a little bit more aerodynamic device in there, see if he can get the front settled down, and hopefully be quicker, maybe find a way around the Farron.
So pit stops due any time now. 38 laps are complete. 105 the scheduled distance, and we take a look at Gilles de Ferran. He still runs well over the race record, about 6 miles an hour over the race record of 99 miles an hour, set 94 by Al Unser Jr. And speaking of Junior, he heads for the pits right now, so the first stop of the race has begun. Al Unser Jr., though, was in 11th as he headed into the pits. We'll keep track of it for you while we watch for the leader to make his stop. Already, Al Unser Jr. has rolled away. That looked routine.
It looked routine, but if he came in maybe 1 lap out of step of everybody else, it might be that he's just trying to get that little bit of an advantage in traffic.
Brian Herta is in, and here is the Jim Hall team as they wait for the leader, Gilles de Ferran.
We watch with them They'll change, and they're going to stay with the option, the softer compound tire. We're also anticipating that they'll make a change and put in more nose wing.
Excuse me, Gary. Bobby Rahal has gotten together with one of the target cars.
It looks like it's...
And it appears to be Zanardi. Yeah, look at
Oh, my gosh. And he's crunched that big time. Look at him. He is just devastated.
Here it is. Rahal just cut across the front of him. Is that the way you'd read it?
I'd read it that way. I don't think Bobby ever saw it. But to be fair, Zanardi, I don't think...
And we got a problem in the pits. Robbie Gordon, apparently they've got a fire on that car. He's saying, no, let it go. I'm all right. Whatever flashed is out. They're going to get him out of the car anyway, which I think is a pretty good move.
Whoa, see that water come over there?
All right, as a result of this, full course yellow. First full course yellow of the day. A lot of water in the pits. Fortunately, it's over close to the wall. And for those of you who say, properly so, don't throw water on an oil or gasoline fire, that's right. The fuel here is methanol. If you throw water on it, it dilutes it down below its combustion point. It's a great way to handle this fire.
Absolutely. Look at
Robbie.
Though.
He's getting back in.
Fire. He wants to get back in with this yellow now, the full course yellow, which was not caused by Robbie's situation, but Zanardi's and Bobby Rahal's on the track because it was blocked. He wants to get back in. He's not going to lose a lot of ground. He still wants to get some points, get back out of there. We're finding more and more of these pit stops. Unbelievable how they change the course of the race.
I'll tell you what, you talk about a guy with some courage. That's one of them, Robbie Gordon there. Let's go back and take a look at the incident that has created this full course yellow right on time for some of the key spots. You're on with Bobby Rahal, and look at that.
See, if you look at that, you never saw Zanardi in the picture. I don't think Bobby really saw him. He was looking at the car in front to maybe have a look to see if he could get by there. Zanardi hadn't made a clean pass, but Zanardi probably thought, hey, I'm in second place. They got to let me through. It's a slower car.
You know, one of the things the designers have been talking about is you look at that car, and he stalls it. Let's go to Jack.
Well, Paul, we're down here in Robbie Gordon's pit. His father, Bob Gordon, is here. And, Bob, you were here when it happened. Tell us exactly what transpired.
I don't know really what happened. I don't know if the thing was still stuck in as Rob took away, but I know it caught on fire, and we tried to get him out as quick as we could, but there was a little fire.
They're still trying to refire the engine. Let's try to show you what we say. We say he starts to pull away. When he says the thing that was still stuck in, it's here at the end of the fuel hose. There's a connection. There's a connector right there, and you can see it's been covered with water. The red part, the little silver piece has to engage. Now they say it stayed stuck in, and when he began to pull away, that's what opened up the fuel nozzle and caused the methanol to get covered all over the hot car, and it ignited.
Well, thank goodness Robbie Gordon is obviously okay. Now, one thing the designers, here's the onboard situation, then we'll get to that, Danny.
It looks like a routine stop, takes his little drink of water, revving the engine to keep it running, changing tires. Everything's okay. Now, don't forget the guy's fueling right now. You can just see his arm there. Stalls the car, and they're going in, but all of a sudden somebody's throwing water. They've got a fire going someplace. Maybe he pulled away a hair too early. I don't know. In safety, they have to get him out. So he's going, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. But they want him out of the car in case the fire gets any worse. See, the hose is stuck.
Yeah, they're struggling with it.
Oh, I see what the problem is. He's just moved forward, probably tweaked it. He's got it jammed in the side there. They can't get it out, and it's just spilling out enough fuel. And, of course, the engine is right behind that, goes down onto the exhaust or some hot and ignites.
If you can see on the side of the car there, they built up the sides of the cockpit where Robbie's name is this year, going back to the accident with Rahal. Some of the guys, especially the people who work on the mirrors, say that they may have to work on how the mirrors are in the future because of that little blockage. You can't actually see out alongside the car like you used to be able to.
That's right, but right in front of his name, you can see how it's cut down there, and they got to improve the mirrors probably.
All right, you see the order. We're under full course caution. DeFerrin made his stop, stayed as the leader. Jimmy Vasser came up into second place with the accident. So the unusual always happens here.
With its available 183 horsepower engine, the all-new 4Runner is so rugged it can take you far from civilization. Which is ironic when you consider that with its